Hello guys, my name is Bas and this is my first video review about a book. The book is called How to Win Friends and Influence People from Dale Carnegie. Like the name of the book says, the book goes about how you can influence people and in doing so make friends, sell stuff, or influence your children. At the time I read this book, I did street sales for charities. Before reading this book, I wasn't doing very well. On an average shift, I would get one donor, while the target was 2 or 3. After reading this book and implementing the principles, I started selling 3 times a shift. That's an increase of more than 300%. In this video, I will share the most important lessons I got out this book. The book is divided in 9 principles, but I will give you the one that were most important to me. The first principle I want to discuss with you is get the other person saying yes, yes, immediately. This principle is so simple to use that it's almost embarrassing that we forgot it to use a lot of times, including myself. During the time that I was implementing this principle, the first thing I would do when started talking with someone is asking the person a simple question, of which I will knew the answer would be yes. So whatever I would ask them, I would be sure they would say yes. After asking them a few of these questions, I would test if it had worked by asking them for something they normally wouldn't have said yes immediately. Funny enough, almost every time the answer was yes, because their minds were in a flow of saying yes. This is a very powerful principle that, in my opinion, every influencer should take the benefits from using it. So the principle is called getting the person saying yes, yes immediately. The second principle I want to discuss with you is called make the other person happy about the thing you suggest. For me as a salesperson, this principle was very important because a lot of people don't necessarily go shopping with the idea that they will sign up to start donating some charity funds. So, in case I will tell them they were doing something really good for the world and they could be proud on themselves if they would sign up. This, of course, would make them feel happier and good about themselves. You can do the same thing in any given situation. Think about some of the benefits about your suggestions and point it out very detailed. So, this principle is called make the other person happy about doing the thing you suggest. The last principle I want to discuss with you was the most important to me. The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. The reason it is called avoiding is because of the fact that you can't really win an argument while influencing someone else. Because if you lose the argument, you lose. And if you win the argument, you still lose because the other person will not feel good about it. At the beginning of my sales career, I stumbled in a lot of arguing during my sales pitches. Most of the time I try to convince them by my own arguments or the benefits I saw. So you can imagine that I wouldn't make a lot of sales at the time. After reading this principle, it was almost like a new world had appeared. Instead of going into a discussion and arguing, I would align with the person and listen very carefully to what I had to say. After listening, I would turn their story into questions, so they would give me the information so I could steer them in the direction I wanted. Based on that information, I started convincing them by using the arguments that are based on the person's needs or values instead of mine. So this principle is called the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. In brief, the most important points out of the book for me: when starting a conversation with someone you want to influence, get the other person saying yes, yes immediately. Secondly, when influencing someone, make him or her feel happy or good about doing the thing you suggest. Last, we talked about the principle: the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. So next time you have a discussion with someone, instead of arguing, align with the person and start convincing him or her with the things that are important for the person and not yours. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something from it. If you have any feedback, comment below so I can make these videos more valuable for you. See you next time, guys.